the fact that they whitewash slavery is crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that as America that we don't learn about the real shit in school, like how George Washington's teeth weren't made out of fucking wood, they're made out of slave teeth, is wild, bro. The
Right.
shit that I have learned on my own, bro, the
For
amount
sure.
of shit that everything relates to slavery, like the ice cream fucking song, bro. Like, bro, I seen something about
Dunkin'
how
Booths.
yeah, like fucking in churches how ushers wear white gloves is because they didn't want black people touching stuff with their black hands. That's why they made them wear white gloves. Like stuff like that, it
Crazy.
blows my mind. So moving on to the whole coronavirus thing with
Jeremy Lin.
Jeremy
Jeremy Lin.
Lin. So I want to start off by saying that I think that sometimes black people use the I don't know. They use a get out of jail free card with the Black Lives Matter thing, and the reason what I mean by this is I feel like they can disrespect other races because they've been disrespected, right?
Yeah.
Just like the whole the Luka being called white boy by
Bitch ass white boy.
Harold, bitch ass white
Mm-hmm.
boy by Harold. Like that was wrong. Because if it was the other way around, it would have been hell, and he probably been kicked out the league or suspended. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just wrong. But yeah, so as far as the whole coronavirus thing with Jeremy Lin, I feel like I'm glad he spoke up about it. I'm glad he said something about it. I hope they really do an investigation because I feel like that's wrong. And Wall, remember you telling us about how that somebody looked at you funny when the whole coronavirus thing came out. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like,
That was
and
black,
I love you,
and they
so
were
like
black.
that was black, yeah, and that affects me too. I don't think that black people should be bad towards like towards other races because of the way they get treated. I mean, I feel like every person has a stereotype about them, but for you to try to misuse that or whatever, like that's wrong to me, like super wrong. So yeah, I just want to see what y'all think about that.
And well, first before Keandre goes and I go, I just want to get Wall's take on it because he is Asian, and I
Mm.
want Wall to explain, how that made him feel, what he thinks about it, and everything like that. So go ahead, Wall.
I mean, when that happened to me, he looked at me funny and kind of backed away. I I I just kind of laughed. I mean, it's just kind of ignorant. You see someone with eyes a little squintier, and you assume they have coronavirus or something. Or I think it's dumb. Personally, it doesn't really bother me that much. I just kind of laugh it off. But like Jeremy Lin said, he said specifically being a 9-year NBA vet doesn't protect him from being called coronavirus on the court. Like he's in the G League playing against a bunch of nobodies. I mean, he has a ring. He didn't super contribute that much, but he's an established NBA starter. And these nobodies are like talking mess to him, especially not even saying like Chinese boy or Ching Chong Ching, something ignorant and racist, but like coronavirus, like something actually serious. I think that's messed up. To even joke about that. Um, like I said, personally, it doesn't bother me, and to be honest, this is one of the better, not better, but the least worst things going on with Asians right now. Like you hear a lot about like violence, like old Asians, like people who can't walk well getting attacked for no reason. Some
Mm.
man like got just randomly pushed, like some dude just ran into him, pushed him over, and he ended up dying. And like celebrities, Asian celebrities, put out money to find the guy. So I think if the worst thing that's happening is people calling Jeremy Lin coronavirus, you know, I'll take that over Asians getting attacked. But yeah,
Mhm.
it does suck. Like it's shedding a new light on how Asians are treated in America.
Mhm.
Personally, I mean, I think every Asian, especially when you grow up in a small town, has had someone say "ching chong ching" to them. Like, I mean, it is what it is. Um, but I think, uh, what's going on now within the last couple of years with people speaking out on topics they feel strongly about, especially race. I think it's a really good thing for all minorities to be able to share their experiences and kind of make people aware like it's not okay and like you shouldn't be doing that. So I think it's really cool that that kind of stuff is going on. But yeah,
Mhm.
you know, it is what it is. Coronavirus around, like people are gonna poke jokes. It's not okay. And you do what you can to stop, but there'll always be those people on the internet who say they're just words. They're just words. It's same thing with the N word. It's just a word. But don't let it
Yeah.
affect you that much.
I think
But
most
yeah,
people who say that are fucking Caucasian, but go ahead.
I think it's. I was actually thinking about that the other day. Aside from Asians, but like when people say that about the N word, because I saw like a post recently, we don't really know what happened through slavery. First off, it wasn't that long ago, and then second off, like all the crazy stuff that went on back then. Like I'll never forget seeing Chris Rock interviews when he talks about his mom going to the dentist
Mm-hmm.
and how she had to go to the vet or something to get her teeth pulled. Like
Mhm.
you don't see that side of history. You don't all these people saying that don't know everything that happened. We
Yeah.
don't even know everything that happened. There's some
Mhm.
people whose stories we'll never know about, and it's that
Mhm.
bad. And I
Yes.
just think it's ignorant to blindly say that. But I mean, they probably just didn't do their homework, or they don't know enough, and it is what it is. It's a lot of ignorance.
Mhm. Before Keandre goes, I want to say this. Um, the fact that they whitewash slavery is crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that as America that we don't learn about the real shit in school, like how George Washington's teeth weren't made out of fucking wood, they're made out of slave teeth, is wild, bro. The
Right.
shit that I have learned on my own, bro, the
For
amount
sure.
of shit that everything relates to slavery, like the ice cream fucking song, bro, like, bro, I seen something about
Dunkin'
how,
booths.
yeah, like fucking in churches how ushers wear white gloves is because they didn't want black people touching stuff with their black hands. That's why they made them wear white gloves. Like stuff like that, it just
It's crazy.
blows my mind.
And you know what's crazy to me about that is like some of that shit black people still follow today, and I don't understand why. Like I
But
remember
they
going to
don't know.
church.
Yeah, that's the thing. They
But they
don't know,
don't
bro.
know. That's the thing. They don't know.
I mean, I guess, but it's
And
just
I
like
mean, like, think about it. Like, you didn't know
yeah,
that's true.
beforehand.
I
That's
just
true.
found that's what I'm saying. Like
I guess I feel like since
certain
black
stuff
people
that
went through
black
it, we should
people,
know.
A lot of things that I
but they
found out,
whitewashed
I
it.
didn't find out until college, bro. When I had like
That's
a
Yeah,
true.
black professor talking to me about African American history.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, I didn't find out Africa was like the fucking Mecca beforehand, you know? Like,
Mm.
Black Africa, the Moors got, what was it, Europe out of the Dark Ages or something? Like, because
Mhm.
their sanitary practices. Africa had the first college in like, was it Egypt or something? I might be wrong, but like they led so many waves that was taken from European countries, and European countries just made it their own and pioneered it because the winners write history. So like one thing, like a lot of stuff I didn't know about African history is like crazy to me. Like I never would have thought, oh, there's colleges in Africa when I
Mhm.
was younger. Like I said, I was not privileged, fucking sheltered, and
Mhm.
fucking they don't teach you this stuff in elementary school and junior high because they don't want you to know that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yep. They don't
Shit,
want you to know how bad the white teacher, because all my teachers were white when I was younger, how bad they race did you. Like, bro, it's
I,
wild. But
and it's two
uh,
things I want to mention about that, but I want Keandre to speak on the whole Jeremy Lin thing before I speak on what
hmm
I had to say.
I think Wall hit it perfectly because a lot of it, and actually, I like how Jeremy Lin handled it because they were looking for names and whatnot,
Yeah.
and he said, "I don't want to give a name out because it's just gonna make you go after the person, counsel them on the internet, whatever. That's not helping the situation. That's just ruining another person's life." So I like that he's not going about it the way some like keyboard warriors would, where like they say a name, do your job, Twitter, all that. He actually wants like real change. He actually wants to talk to these people, have them like really get an understanding of it. But I think it's just this leads also back to LeBron and Zlatan shit because it's all just division and ignorance of like, okay, my people are going through this. I don't need to know what your people are going through because if we're going through it, then that's all that matters. It's like Jared said, LeBron's black. You shouldn't come at him. Well, we don't know what a lot of times people going through. You know what I mean? It's just like we all might be going through the same shit, but we're targeting the wrong people.
Right.
Like
Right.
we only see ourselves going through it, so we're not going to go after other people. Like the Harold thing. When he said that shit to Luka, you know, Black Lives Matter was at its height. And, you know, he probably didn't even think, okay, what has Luka gone through? And Luka probably goes through that every night from, you know, other black people in the league. And he probably didn't even think about that. He just thought, okay, my people going through it. I don't care what this boy going through. He a white boy. You know what I mean? So it's just shit like that. Like people need to, I would say, really sit and think about what someone else is going through. I feel like people don't do that enough. Like it's not just your race going through something. It's not just you going through something. Person next to you could be going through the same shit and just not talk about it.
But that's my thing though. Like, you shouldn't even have to think in that aspect of what somebody else is going through. It's what's right and what's fucking wrong, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know that shit wrong. You should never fight racism with racism because it makes you look bad. Like I'm never gonna, no matter how racist a person is, I'm never gonna fight racism with racism. I'm gonna beat your motherfucking ass, but I ain't gonna, you know, say no racist shit to you. But you know, I'm not gonna say no racial shit to you because at the end of the day, that's not me. That's not who I am. I feel like for the world to be a better place, racism has to go completely. And I agree. Like Harold was wrong about that shit. Like he what were you thinking, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit not cool. You know
Like
what I'm
a lot of
saying?
that shit we were raised on. Like, you know,
Yeah.
us being from where we are, like Redacted. I'm sure we all got stories about racist shit happening to us.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like kindergarten, fucking
Yes.
another kid, my same age, called me an N-word. And I hit that nigga in the balls and called him cracker and do shit. Because, you know, niggas don't care about cracker. Like, you know what I mean? It's like putting a Band-Aid on fucking a gun wound. Like, but fucking, you know, it's just how we were raised, you know what I mean? So I think once people get out of their like comfort zones, get out of the places where they grew up and actually see the world for a better place, I think that helps. Cause I think college really got a lot of that out of me. Cause like I was on some dumb shit before college. Like before being around a lot of different races, a lot of different cultures and shit like that. Like I probably would be on a fucking Twitter page saying some dumb
Cancel
shit.
Facts,
You know what I mean?
man,
Like
facts,
for sure.
yeah.
Before meeting a lot of the people I met that I wouldn't have thought I would have talked to at any
I ain't
time.
gonna lie. Even if you said that, I don't think you would get canceled as being a black person.
I
really
don't
don't,
know.
but I really don't think you would.
Oh, we used to be on some dumb shit.
But I don't know. I feel like, yeah, I can kind of understand it. But I feel like once you become a man, you got to have your own thoughts. So you got to know right from wrong. But I do agree with what you're saying, though. It's about how you was raised. Because, yes, you know what I'm saying? You play white kids. Oh, what's up, white boy? I mean, even like one white kid being on a basketball or football team full of, you know, of black people. If you're white, you know what I'm saying? You done been called white boy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That white boy can shoot. Like,
that
you
might
know
be your nickname.
You know what they can say? Yes. You know what I'm saying? White chocolate.
Shit, white boy
shit like
Boogie?
that. Like, yeah. White boy boogie. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What's his name?
Yeah, we went to a school, they called him white boy something. So, I can't even remember what the fuck they called him, but it was something like that. But yeah, I mean, I can agree with that, but I don't think that's right. You know what I'm saying? You know, like I just don't agree with that. But two things I want to talk about is one was I remember when I was younger and we were in class, we were talking about slavery, and a kid in the class asked, he said,
slavery in class?
"Oh yeah, we was talking about the whole slavery and everything like that." And I'm gonna
we got one day.
Once I get to my point, you'll understand why I'm saying this. But a kid asked, he said, when slaves tried to run away, why did they just cut off their feet? And the teacher got mad. He was like, don't ask no stupid shit like that. He didn't say stupid shit, but don't ask nothing stupid like that. He was like, you know what I'm saying? He didn't want to say what he wanted to say. He tried to sugarcoat it, but basically he was like, you know, they didn't want to, you know, harm their slaves because they would ruin their profit. Because
they didn't want to ruin their property.
Yeah, they didn't want to ruin it. But now that I think about it, shit, they probably did fucking cut their feet off or, you know, hands off and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a two-way street because I can kind of understand why they sugarcoat slavery. Because I remember in class one time we watched a movie, and I understand, and the teacher cut it off halfway through, and I can understand why. It was that movie Hairspray, and you know that's kind of like it's revolving around segregation and everything like that. And there was a scene in there where like all the black kids were in one class and the white kids were in class, and I started getting pissed the fuck off. You know what I'm saying? In my head, like fuck all these white people, like all of that shit. Like that's what I'm saying in my head at the time. But I kind of understand because if you a kid, you don't really know how to contain your emotions. You ain't seen a lot. You know what I'm saying? That shit can just piss you off.
You haven't been taught how to think about that.
So I can understand why they kind of whitewash it because they don't want black kids to be mad at the other white kids or the teachers or everything like that. But at the same time, I seen somebody else say it's like if black kids are old enough to go through racism, white kids are old enough to learn about racism. And
See,
I
that's
agree.
my thing. Like I think we've had this conversation before, but like when I was like 5 or 6, I knew what racism was. Like my mom didn't play with me, you know. Like we watched Roots, like 5, 6 years old or some shit like that, you know, like young as hell, seeing all the slave shit like raw.
Yeah.
So like it makes no sense to me that like other ethnicities can't talk to the kids about, you know, you shouldn't do this just because they have to explain why.
Facts.
You know,
because I don't want to hear that shit about he a kid. Because if I when I have kids and my kids in school and a little white kid done call my kid a nigger or something like that, oh, I want beef for little Timmy and I want the parents too. Little Timmy got to get his ass whooped by the parents of me. Somebody whooping his ass because he shouldn't be saying that. Because where he get that shit from? He ain't just you know what I'm saying. Ain't nobody whatever. But at the same time though. You know, I saw something where this woman said that parents are the most influential to influence to their kids, but I disagree. Your peers are. So he could have got it from his peers, but regardless, somebody got to catch these motherfucking hands because he shouldn't have fucking said
Call
it.
of Duty. That's all
you know what I'm saying?
Bro.
Hey, maybe it is, but that's another thing too. In video games, you know, get called nigger all the fucking time, but somebody got to feel that shit. Somebody got to feel my little kid pain because he shouldn't have been called that shit. So the parents, I need to see that. I need to see what y'all got because I'm whooping ass. Wife, husband, I want it. I need that.
I feel like a lot of times when you're a kid and you get called that, you don't even really know how to respond to that. Like when I got called it, I wasn't even mad. I just knew I had to fight him.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. And
It's
but
funny
that's the
that
thing.
you
Like,
mentioned your parents taught you all that because I don't remember ever having a conversation with my mom like about race and all that stuff. It never really came up. So I guess the idea, but at the same time, my mom was never shitting on other races either. So the idea of, you know, dropping the N-word or talking shit to someone because their color, that idea never even came up in my mind. I never saw color, so to speak, ever. So I think that's really interesting y'all were taught that.
I don't think there was ever like a full conversation, but more like just in passing. Like
right.
It was like passive type shit.
Yeah, or walking by something, and then like my mom would be like, "Don't go over there because it's gonna happen," and never explain why, but just you know,
same.
Oh, okay, now I know.
Same. I remember one time I was at a garage sale and I picked up a car, and a white man was there. And he was like, "Oh, I see you got your car there, boy." And my mom was like, "Put that car down, we're leaving." And I'm like, "Why?" And like now that I realize, like, cause he called me boy, like that's disrespectful as fuck. Even though I was a little kid, he might not have been racist at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say he was, but just the whole aspect of being called a boy, and they used to call that to slaves to like basically make them feel inferior was a thing. But yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. Wall, like, did you learn that? And that's interesting, like that you didn't. But it's great that your parents didn't teach you the negative side of it to be racist or racism. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like as a school though, you gotta teach these kids what's going on. You gotta teach them.
Yeah, I was gonna say my mom. I actually brought it up to her one time. I don't remember why or when, but I was like, it must have been when I was a teenager, like starting to understand stuff like racism, and I just like asked her like, hey, when you're in Austin, because she's been a stay-at-home mom for the last like 10, 15 years, and I was like, hey, did you ever like, are you scared of black people? Because a lot of Asians are like scared of black people for whatever reason. I was like, yeah, are you like scared of black people? And she was like, 'cause she was an immigrant, so she had to work a really crappy job when she moved here just to make ends meet. She was like, no, I worked with a lot of black people actually. They were my best friends at work, which is the funniest shit in the world to me. The fact that she was friends with like just regular black Americans not knowing any English, and like there were other immigrants from like Sri Lanka or some other like I think like Middle Eastern countries who were kind of like nasty to her. And it was always the black American dudes who stuck up for her. And she was always like, black man is good. And that shit just always made me laugh.
I think
it was always funny.
People is that they're just always black people are very accepting, even to like people who shouldn't be. They shouldn't be accepting. You know what I mean?
Yes, and sometimes I question that shit. I ain't gonna lie. I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, why? You know what I'm saying? Fuck that shit. But I can understand it though.
But the last topic I want to talk about with y'all, that's something that came up. So
wait, before we move on to the last topic, I wanted to say this before we got off the subject, was that growing up, and like Keandre said about, you know what I'm saying, we didn't really learn in passive. I feel like black parents should directly teach their kids too what's going on in the world. Like, don't do it passively. Just tell them straight up. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's a tough conversation to have with your kids. But I'm gonna have that conversation with my kids because they need to know.
No, my mom was no bullshit, so she just told us how it was.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Jay.
So y'all know who Symfuhny is, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yep. Yep.
Streamer.
Okay.
You talking about the
So
streamer?
basically,
Yeah, it's a streamer.
he got a text message from Myth, right? And asking him to go hiking, right? And basically he was like kind of like slurring his words a little bit. And it sounds like he said nigga, right? Like nigga, yeah, I go on a hike. That's what it said. I listened to it. I can hear nigga, but I can also hear him saying something else. But I think he said nigga personally.
Wall calling bullshit, bro.
I think he
That's what it
said
sounded
nigga.
like to me.
I
That
think he
nigga said
nigga.
nigga. Okay, this is the thing. The word that came out his mouth was nigga. Now, whether he meant to say that or not, nigga came out his mouth. Now, one thing I will say is.
Well, hold on, let me finish.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
So he said nigga or whatever. And my thought process about this is Myth defended him, right? He says that he doesn't think that's what he said, first of all. And if he truly believes that, then he truly believes that. Because he said he knows Symfuhny outside of streaming. He never uses the word around him. Nobody at the 100 Thieves house where he lives uses that word. I call bullshit. I don't think that's true.
Shit, ain't that what Hiko? I feel say Hiko said nigga. That was no question, and he meant to say nigga.
That's what I'm saying. He said that. That's what Myth said. He also said, but I don't know. I see Nate shot dropping the N-bomb too. I can see it in his eyes. Anyway,
Nate shot say it as like a friend, bro. Like
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Say like,
but he said though. I know.
Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
Because I mean, they all listen to rap music. That's another topic about that. But so So basically, I guess my question for y'all and how y'all feel about it is like when we grow up, everybody said nigga. Black, white, Mexican, everyone said nigga.
Hold on, not white. That was fake.
No, nigga, white people said it.
I
don't know.
It was a selective few. It was a selective few that said it. They were able to say
one who tried and got instantly shut down in locker rooms, but
well, it was a couple. You know, it was one in our class, and it was one in the class below us. You know,
but who's the one
Redacted.
Redacted.
When we were younger,
who would whoop y'all boys?
Nah, not him.
Yeah, for sure. Back when we played basketball together, for sure.
That's
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
I'll fade his ass now. But yeah, go ahead.
Anyway, I went off on his ass on Twitter behind that shit one day, so don't even try me. But
anyway, I whoop his ass for looking at me, so it ain't much he can do that I whoop his ass for. But go ahead.
So like I'm saying, like I was saying, so what I was saying was basically, how do y'all feel about the whole him saying it and then Myth being half black? It wasn't really a pass because he says he don't think he says it, and he says that he doesn't drop it outside, so he don't feel like that's what he meant or that's what he said. But I feel like he defended him too much because he never came out and said if that is what he said, that's wrong. He did say that I'm gonna talk to him tomorrow about it, and then I'm gonna give him shit about it and talk to him about what he said or whatever. Myth did say that, but I just feel like it to me is like I felt like because he was friends with him, he didn't go hard enough on him, in my opinion. You can still be friends with him. I don't think Symfuhny is racist or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But in the times we live in today, you got to go hard behind something like that. You got to. You know what I'm saying? You got to go hard. Especially with you being a half black, you got to go hard behind somebody like that. That's how I feel. Now, if he really don't feel like he said it and he knows Symfuhny like he say he do, then I can understand the way he said it. But like it just to me, I can't think of nothing else he would have said. The shit sounded nigga. It hurt by day. So I mean, how y'all feel about that?
Said that shit like Dave Chappelle?
Yeah, for sure. Like
who started?
Oh yeah, go for it.
No, I was gonna say you go.
Yeah, so I just saw that like this morning on YouTube actually, or last night. And then I watched the video, and then I saw a couple of people react to it. XQC defended him, Myth defended him, Hasanabi defended him. Well, XQC said the same thing Myth said. And they both said that he's like very derpy, and so like XQC said he's thinking one thing, but he
Mhm.
changes mid sentence and wants to say another thing, and then it
Mhm.
comes out sounding wrong.
Didn't someone say
Yeah.
that previously? Also,
Who?
I thought that a couple months back there was someone else who said nigga, and that was the exact thing they said. Is that I talk really
don't know.
fast and my words get caught together.
I
Oh,
don't
wow.
know. I know XQC in his video, he said that happened. Like when
Mm.
he was playing Overwatch, some people made a big deal because they thought he said it, but he said allegedly he was really like thinking two things, and it just came out and maybe sounded like that. But Myth did say if he did say it, he would be the first one to have a conversation with Symfuhny. So I take that
Mhm.
as saying like, Symfuhny shouldn't be saying it.
Mhm.
And Hasanabi said, y- Hasanabi said, if he's saying that casually, then that's wrong. So that's someone who like came out pretty hard on him. He said he didn't think he said it, but if he does say it and he says it casually like that, then it's wrong. And I agree with that. To me it sounded like he said it. Like
Mhm.
it to me it's clear as day. Like I
Mhm.
watched that. It's not like he started a word and then switched the way XQC kind of described. It
Mhm.
flowed to me. So
Mhm.
I mean, I guess we'll see what happens with him and Myth. I'm sure nothing, but
Mm-hmm.
that's I do think he said it.
Keandre?
Yep.
I'll just speak on Myth. I feel like him defending him is like they're both people that's within media, both people who are widely, well, not, yeah, I'll say widely known. So for Myth, it's like, okay, this is my friend. Even if he did say it, I'm gonna defend him. But like behind closed doors, he's gonna get on his ass. It's like
Right.
in any situation like that. But I don't know. I feel like it's difficult to judge these conversations without knowing who the person is. Like I haven't heard the video. I don't know how clear it is. If it's as clear as y'all say it is, and what I mean, he fucked up and he needs to
I could
be.
drop it to you real quick,
But but
but continue.
yeah, I can understand Myth trying to defend him through that if that's actually his like close friend. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna say this about the situation. I watched the video too, and nigga, clear as day came out. Now, this is the thing. I do agree, and just watching him, I do think that motherfucker is derpy. And like sometimes I get, my
Drop to you,
tongue
Keandre.
twisted and
Yeah,
everything like that. You know what I'm saying? When I'm fucking talking. So I can understand, like, he might have said two words and nigga came out, but like in his mind, he didn't mean this. Like, you know how you think before you talk or whatever? Like, he not meaning to say, nigga. His two words just combined to come out and say nigga. Now I can see that. My thing about this, Myth on bullshit, he a motherfucking liar. If he didn't hear nigga. If he did not hear nigga, he's fucking lying. That shit
No, he
clear as motherfucking
said
day.
No, he said
he,
it.
he said Myth did say we all heard it, but that's not what
Okay.
he said.
Okay.
No,
He
Okay.
said
said
we
Yes.
all heard it, but that's not what he
But
said.
he said it, but he didn't. That's, what I'm saying. Like I said, when
Yeah.
he put two words together, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But to me, when I listen to what knowing, okay, so I actually watched Symfuhny playing Warzone a lot. I have watched him a lot, and he does do that a lot. That's why I gave him the benefit of the doubt.
XQC
But
too.
listening to the video again, it sounds he was like, I mean, Myth, yeah, I'll go on a hike with you. So it was like he was saying like, yeah, like you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
type
Yeah.
shit. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
For
saying? So
sure.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what that I honestly
Yeah.
think that's what he meant. Did he say nigga? Yes, but I
Yeah.
do
Nigga
think
came out
that
his
that's what
mouth.
he meant. Type
I
shit.
think
And
he
this is my
responded way too calmly after that for him to have meant to say it.
yes.
Because
Yeah.
Yes.
anybody
And
else say it
yes.
on stream,
yes.
they instantly a stream cut off
Yeah.
or
Did
Yeah.
y'all see that?
hold on.
That
You know what I mean?
Asian woman
Exactly.
who said nigga in her live.
Nuh-uh.
Mm-mm.
I think she was on Walden now, if I'm not mistaken. But she Asian, but she got braids or whatever, like, and she around black people, like, she said nigga, like, straight up, and she like, oops, please don't cancel me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't do none of that shit. Yeah, she said the shit. Oops. Like, she was like, oops. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but
You
he
got
didn't do
me.
none of that. So I know, like, in his head, he didn't say nigga. Now, what came out
Mhm.
was nigga. But, you know what I'm saying? Like I
Mhm.
said, I have no ill will towards him.
Mhm.
If I'm his black friend, like, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna be clear. Like, yes, we know we heard whatever, but that's not what he meant or whatever. Like, but if he does say it or did say it, yes, I would have a conversation with him outside or whatever, and like I would tell him like, you either stop it or fade me and fuck you straight up. So that's just it. Now, one thing I want to say, when I was a kid, I let, if I felt like you was cool, I let whoever say it if I felt like you was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers who wasn't black got passes or whatever, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, back in the day, like, see, this is the thing. I never put black and nigga together. I never did that shit. When I thought of nigga, I thought of friend, not a black friend or a black person. But that's how the world see it. You know what I'm saying? That's how the world sees nigga. So now that I'm older, I understand how the world see it, then I'm going to say like, nah, bro, we're not even going to do that. Like, y'all heard me check old boy about that shit. Y'all heard me. So, like, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not just going to let the motherfucking shit fly. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, if you ain't black, just don't fucking say it. And one thing I do agree with, black people shouldn't say it either. But it's stuck in my vocabulary now. But I don't think black people should say it either. And the reason I say black, if you think about where the word came from, like a white person said this, and I'm not gonna lie. He was like, "Why can't we say nigga? We came up with it. They did. They really did."
Hey, I hope whoever said
facts.
that had a mean one.
That's
whoever he is.
It was a troll account.
He didn't get through his car happily, bro.
It wasn't his real Twitter, but he ain't fucking wrong. He's fucking right. They came up with the motherfucking word. They did.
Well,
so I just
the
felt
whole
like
thing about it is that black people flipped it into something that made them feel empowered. Is what they say. Is that
really
they turned it into their
empowering?
own thing. Well, I mean, it's used in like camaraderie a lot of times. You know what I mean? Like it's never. I don't think I've ever heard or myself said that about somebody who I don't fuck with.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
True. That's true.
You know what I mean? Like if I see somebody being a dumbass, I'm calling them a dumbass. I'm not saying, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I can understand how it was flipped into that. But
yeah,
I guess I understand both parts of it. Like we don't want it said at all. We need to stop saying it because people are gonna catch on to our vocabulary no matter what.
And that's the thing. Like a lot of black culture is appropriated, and you know what I'm saying. Like a lot of races pick that shit up. And this is a conversation for another day. And I just thought of a good ass topic for another podcast. Is I seen something where black influencers get paid a certain amount for things, and white influencers get paid a certain amount of things. But a lot of these white influencers are stealing shit that black people came up with. So you know what I'm saying. But that's another conversation for another day. But yeah, I just feel like with the whole Symfuhny situation, like you know what I'm saying. He didn't mean to say it. I can honestly say that I don't feel like he meant to say it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think people should cancel him or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because you know he ain't even that type of dude that I feel like would say that shit. But one thing I do want to close on, unless somebody else has something to say.
I'm good.
If you ain't black, don't say nigga. You ain't no passes. Don't say it. It's that simple.
For sure.
Don't say it. You know what I'm saying? Like I know if you want to be down, you want to whatever, you can appropriate whatever else you want. Well, not whatever else you want. But you know what I'm saying? You want to take the look, whatever, do that, but do it respectfully. And own up to the shit. Own up to it. Stop acting like, you know what I'm saying, you white. You done came up with this shit that you done stole from a black person. Because I see that shit a lot too. Like, stop the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, like a lot of this shit with the Kardashians, ain't none of they ass black. But they fucking, act like it and steal shit from black people. Stop that shit, bro. Like, just stop it. It's that simple. Stop appropriating and without giving respect and everything like that. And stop when you, and this is another thing too. When you get around your white friends or white family, don't do the code switching shit. Don't be in front of me. You got all this slang and AAV and all that shit. And then you get around your white friends and you country as hell and, you know what I'm saying, all of this. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, no, stop. Nigga, be you. If that's not who you are, don't be that. Like, be who you are. It's that simple. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about the situation.
Agreed.
Well said, fam. Advertisers right here.
Hell yeah, fucking shit. Give us some fucking support. Goddamn.
Yeah, I mean, we can make some big bucks. Can't say the real name because they ain't paid us, but we can make some.
Yeah, no fucking free advertisement. Goddamn, none of that. But yeah, this has been episode 2. This low key might be a 2-parter because we deep into this podcast, deep into the conversation, and I want to give both parts the respect they deserve. So this might be a 2-parter. So if you see this in part 2 and not in part 1, it is what it is. But yeah, this has been You Feel Me, and we out.